So welcome everybody. Thanks for attending this second session of the workshop on NbS and IUCN Global Standard. I would like to start by asking you a permission to record this meeting. If you don't want to be to give permission, just switch off your camera and that will be okay. Otherwise, I take it as a yes, and I start. Okay, so let's gonna start this training. I would like to start with briefly tour the table. I think most of the people are colleagues from the project and people from the transfer city that we met recently in Lorca. But for those that are new and also the old ones, I will ask you just to introduce yourself. And then we will go directly to the criteria 1 to 4 in more depth than the last time. And then we will do a practical example of the application of the standard. Let's see how we can apply criteria 1 to NatUR-W as a group activity. Probably the partners here will be taking the lead since they have more context on the project. Then we will watch a video from a colleague of mine that is going to present how to apply criteria 4 to a case study in Greece in the framework of NatMed project. Then we will have a coffee break, just 3 minutes. If you think this is not necessary, we can skip that and finish slightly earlier. Then we will do like also a group activity with recommendation for municipality technicians, where I will ask you to be engaged and to be participative. Also showing the reality of your own cities. Then we will follow with just some tips on the IUCN Academy, the self-assessment online tool, and some resources that will be available for you. And then we will have time for questions and answers. Whatever doubts you might have, I can answer at the end of the training. So without further delay, I will ask my colleague Abdel to introduce himself and break the ice here.
Sure. Hello, everyone. So my name is Abdel Rahman, full name. I am originally from Sudan, and I am joining today from Madrid here in Spain. And I work as a business development specialist with NbS Climate. I will hand over to Vasilis Taporis. I hope I got that right.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Vasilis Taporis. I'm working as a director in the municipality of Philae in the Topical Economic Department, and I'm the contact person of the municipality in the program as a transfer knowledge city in this program.
Thank you, Vasilis. Can you hand over to someone else in the group?
Okay, let's pass to Theo Alexandridis.
Hello, I'm Theo, and I am also from Greece. I am an urban planner specialized in natural-based solution for urban resilience, and I'm working with the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. So I'm gonna pass now to to Pete, the first one that I saw.
No problem, Theo. Good morning, everybody. My name is Pete Marta. I am the Energy Efficiency and Climate Action Officer with Sligo County Council, who are one of the transfer partners in the NatUR-W project. And I'll be working on this, but I am working on other EU-funded projects that concern ecosystem-based approaches and nature-based solutions. So very much looking forward to this training session. Thank you, and I will hand over to Ivan.
Hi, I'm Roberta. I work in the municipality of Mantua. I am an environmental scientist and the energy manager of our municipality, and I work in environmental and urban planning department. So I'm interested in these topics.
Could you please, Roberta, hand over to somebody else? Say a name.
I don't know if there is some colleagues because we have many meetings at the same time this morning. So from our municipality, I think I'm the only one at now, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so I will ask Dionysius to introduce himself. I think he's around.
Sorry, it was closed. Hello everyone, my name is Dionysius Latinopoulos. I am professor at the University of Thessaloniki, and I am also part of the UNESCO Water Center, which is one of the partners of this project. My expertise is on spatial planning and environmental economics. And I now pass to Hermione.
Hi everyone, I'm Hermione. I'm also from Greece and working with Tero company and with other guys from Greece working on this project. And that's all for me. So what about Enrique?
Hello, I am Enrique from Municipality of Lorca. I am technical architect and I work in the European Fund Office of the Municipality of Lorca. The next can be Pedro.
Now, hi everybody, I'm Pedro, I'm from Lorca Municipality. As Enrique, I work in the European Fund Office and also in the tendering process. I'm a lawyer and I work also in another European project here in Lorca. And I don't know if someone, Ivan, for example.
Hi, my name is Ivan. I'm an architect from Singular Green. I'm working on, I used to develop the projects in the office and provide projects for nature-based solutions. Next one, Patricia.
Maybe we lose Patricia. Okay, so we can. Patricia, are you there to introduce yourself? Or we can pass it to somebody else, maybe colleagues from Indesmat, Goose, if you are around.
Hello, my name is Cristina from Indesmat, from Spain. Originally, I am Turkish. And we have like 9 European projects. These are research interests. And yeah, I can test the word and the person. Harmony, did you do or? Hermione.
I
No,
think
I
Hermione
was
already
here.
introduced
Okay.
herself.
Your turn.
If somebody wants to jump in,
Good morning. I'm Natasha Balla, Anastasia Balla from the municipality of Philly. I represent Mr. Avramis. He's apologized for not being today, and I'm going to be here from him today.
okay, I don't know if we are missing somebody, otherwise you can type your name and affiliation on the chat. All the doubts that you might have during this training, you can also tap it in the chat. So we continue. So just to refresh your memory and giving a little bit of context here, if you remember the definition of nature-based solutions as actions to protect, sustainably manage, restore nature or modify ecosystems that address societal challenges and effectively and adaptively providing human well-being and biodiversity benefits. This definition was established on the World Conservation Congress in Hawaii in 2016. And after that, IUCN started a process of elaborating a standard that lasts for 4 years. It was an open consultation process with all the IUCN members, a lot of experts invited. And the reason for that is because this standard was meant to be a methodology for the design, evaluation, and continuous improvement of NbSs. Also for scaling up these NbSs. The standard is based on 8 criteria and 28 indicators. The criteria, you can see the 8 of them in the infographic here. And so the first criteria tells you about the NbS to be designed to effectively and efficiently address specific societal challenges. Those are climate change adaptation, mitigation, disaster risk reduction, ecosystem degradation and biodiversity loss, human health, socioeconomic development, food security, and water security. And this criteria has 3 indicators. The first one, the 1.1, sorry, the NbS needs to be response to at least one or more specific societal challenges, in which the most pressing societal challenges for right holders and beneficiaries are prioritized. For the 1.2, the NbS intervention should address the societal challenges that directly affect a specific group of people. What does it mean? It means that, for example, if you are developing an NbS on coastal erosion control, you need to pay attention on the specific municipalities that are affected to that. And the last indicator, human well-being outcomes arising from the NbS, are identified, benchmarked, and periodically assessed. We will later apply this criterion 1 to the NatUR-W project. So keep that 3 indicators in mind. So what else here? So the criteria 1 interlinks with criteria 5. We will speak extensively about this criteria in the next training. But since the identification of the most pressing societal challenges is best informed by a transparent and inclusive consultation process. And this is what criteria 5 is about. For example, in NatUR-W, we have community forums in which we open up this consultation process. For those that were in the previous training, you might remember this traffic light system is the rating for the application of the standard. We will go in detail later. So about the scale. So criterion 2 is about the scale. The design of the NbS is informed by a scale. The scale in here is nothing related to your intervention covering a larger or smaller area. It has to be with your design, the solution responding to the scale of the issue. If you look at the infographic here in the slide, looking at this representation, you need to think if your intervention is downstream, for example, imagine that you are doing restoration of seagrass on the coast or on the further restoration of the seagrass there, Posidonia oceanica or other kind of. So you need to think, are the particular neighboring or upstream land use practice that could reduce the efficacy of this NbS? So will something affect your intervention? You might think, well, let's gonna look at the agricultural practices upstream to see if that could affect the sediment in the area of restoration. You might have some a village or a city close to your intervention area, and the pollution could affect these restoration practices and could put at risk the success of the intervention. So all of that things are under this criteria. And if you, for example, look at NatUR-W, if you remember from the explanation we received from the colleagues from Singular Green, the biofilter and the water tank that was located underground, is planned to be located underground, is the design or dimensionated taking into account the whole catchment area. If you don't do that, you might have the water tank overflow after a big event, because in Lorca is very prone to these flash floods. So you need to look at these indicators too. As I said, if the intervention responds to interactions between economy, society, and ecosystem. Also seeking synergy across sectors. Also identification and management of the beyond intervention side. As I said, you might have things outside the intervention area that might affect your intervention. So we move to the next criteria. So this is about biodiversity net gain. It's pretty straightforward. It has 4 sub indicators. You know, basically what it says that first hand, you need to have evidence-based assessment of the current state of the ecosystem and what is causing degradation in your area. So that information is in the most of the cases available in a national reports or in even using other scientific literature. So that you need to establish also biodiversity conservation outcomes that you can measure after the intervention and during the intervention periodically. Also, you need to take into account and measure unintended adverse consequences that you might not be considered at first hand, but then you realize that you might cause something unwillingness. And you need to create opportunities to enhance the ecosystem integrity and connectivity. identify those and incorporate it into the NbS. This is from our colleagues in Singular Green. So if you remember this infographic from our last meeting in Lorca, you might remember the future urban forest park here on top, the jail, and the renovated houses on the right corner. And this is a good example of how these NbSs can enhance ecosystem integrity and connectivity. Because if you think of a pollinator, a wasp, or a bee, this pollinator could make a trip from the urban forest to the renovated houses, the green walls there, to the green walls inside the jail. So everything is connected, not only through water, also through biodiversity. So this is a picky criteria. This is economic viability, and you need to demonstrate that your intervention is economically viable. You need to consider direct and indirect benefits and costs associated with the NbS, who pays and who benefits. You need to do cost effectiveness study, including all the regulations, subsidies. And then you need to justify that your intervention is best compared to other available options. And you need to design the NbS considering a portfolio of resources options at market-based, public sector, voluntary commitments, and actions to support regulatory compliance. So if you want to know more about this, how to do a cost-benefit analysis, IUCN has this document. I think it's quite useful. You can find it online, Google it, and it's easy access. And in this document, you have this infographic on the cost categories on a specific intervention landscape restoration decisions. And you will have the same thing for the benefits as well. I think it's quite useful, and you can get it for inspiration in your own NbSs. So now we go to the group activity, and I want to first show you how the Excel file in which you have the criteria look like. So this is the Excel file, screenshot from the Excel file, and just showing the first criteria and the indicator 1.1. And you will have the description of the indicator, guiding question, and a description on how well the indicator meets your NbS, how to write your NbS. And then you will have a rationale and means of verification, recommendation, opportunities, and challenges. This Excel file is no longer available because IUCN is migrating from this Excel to an online service that is going to be just the same information, but it better looks in a layout, and you can fill it up online. Then you will get the PDF. I will explain this later. So the activity that I'm asking from you is that we're going to try to apply the criteria 1 with 3 indicators. Let's see if we can reach up to the 1.3. We might be running out of time. Let's see how it goes. So I will ask you to pay attention to this table and the description of the 3 indicators. And I'm answering the guiding questions in 3 minutes. So yes, for those that are involved in the project, it will be probably easier. For those that are external to the project, if you might think your own project on how to answer this question to your own project. That could be useful. So these are the guiding questions. And we're going to apply the first indicators. So you need to identify the societal challenges in NatUR-W. You need to identify and give a reason of, yes, not, but also like elaborate it. Then you need to also answer, are right holders and beneficiary consulted? And are the most pressing societal challenges for right holders and beneficiary prioritized? We did a similar exercise during the transfer series. I hope you remember. And as a tip, I can tell you like identification of challenges. For example, in this case of NatUR-W, it's climate change adaptation and mitigation, but there are many others. So just now the clock is ticking, so you have 3 minutes. Okay, if somebody wants to jump in, maybe somebody from the project that has more experience with identify societal challenges. Maybe Dionysius, you want to be the first?
Oh, the challenges of NatUR-W.
Yes, the societal challenges.
I don't know. I think that well documented in our project website, so it's easy to find them. The challenges. I don't know. According to our website, there are number of dwellings that are in deficient state, households that are unable to keep their homes cool enough in summer. I think that these are main society challenges. There are some environmental challenges that stress the societies, such as the semi-arid climate and the rainfall, which is not so often and enough. So I don't know. If I'm answering right, I think that these are the challenges.
No, it's okay. This is just a plenary. We can discuss it. Just have a feedback from you. Somebody else wants to add some other social challenges.
I guess I can jump in there, Sarah.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, no worries. So I guess we're looking at addressing the issue of food security. And through that, the proposed NatUR-W solution will be the provision of a community garden at the old jail redevelopment that we mentioned at the meeting last week. So in terms of the scale of it, I mean, that's obviously a fairly major issue. And we'd be coupling that as well with water conservation, which is another major climate related issue. So in relation then to the rights holders and beneficiaries, that would be the local community who will be engaged and consulted with in the development of that particular garden. And they in turn would be the beneficiaries as well, in that they would provide the care and take care of the gardens themselves, but also be able to take the produce then and be able to use that themselves for their own families and communities. And it means that the healthy fresh food will be provided, grown locally, and will allow them also to learn the techniques that are required to cultivate food at home or within their local community. So I think that's the three questions they're answered in relation to that particular proposed NatUR-W solution. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
If somebody else wants to add something.
Also, I can say something. I remember, thanks to architecture education from university, we were also, always thinking about the cultural sensitivity, like this kind of solution, nature-based solution, can respect the cultural values or traditional practice to implementation. This is the first idea it occurred to me now. Also, long-term sustainability and maintenance issues. I mean, the people cannot accept sometimes due to the maintenance of the natural-based solution. Also, maybe it can be, I mean, in our case, it is not like that, but normally in project, there is the container ownership issues. I mean, the area who belongs to, there's some, it can be some conflict or not, unclear things about the site and land rights. Yeah. Apart of that, I don't think it could be a problem, social challenge.
Absolutely. So thank you. So just to wrap up, Dionysius contributed with raising some social challenges as poverty, energy deficiencies, and also Pete contributes with food security and human health related issues, and also a very good point from Gus about this cultural heritage that is always important in that kind of city projects. Yeah, absolutely. Pete, please jump in.
Just in response to Kusi's mention of cultural sensitivity, here in Ireland, we'll probably be growing potatoes and not lemons. So I think that would upset people if we tried to grow lemons here in Sligo. I jest. Okay.
Yes. Okay, thank you. We will jump to the next slide because we are running out of time. But keep on this guiding question in mind and keep on reflecting both for your own projects and NatUR-W. So I will go to the next one. So another requirement of the Excel file nowadays, the online self-assessment, is that you need means of verification. You need support documents. And in the case of supporting documents for NatUR-W, I think we cover plenty of them. We have baseline data. We have the strategic plan of the Agenda Urbana from Lorca. We might not have been doing the full stakeholder consultation, but we did a stakeholder consultation. We did the stakeholder identification and analysis. Another ways of means of verification could be monitoring and evaluation frameworks to track progress. We also created a governance plan where we have the mechanism for right holders and beneficiaries to hold the feedback mechanism. And also, before the proposal was drafted, we also review existing legal frameworks and policy documents. All of these are just ideas and means of verification that could be useful for your own projects. In terms of recommendations, opportunities, and challenges, here are some tips that are just for NatUR-W, but it could be just transferred to your own projects. Societal challenges best informed by a transparent, inclusive consultation process. And this is where I mentioned before, criteria 1 links with criteria 5. And as we also see in our own experience, after the consultation process, you get a lot of things out from the people, from local population, that you didn't think about that before. Describe the NatUR-W goals and solutions, which can be considered opportunities and recommendations, but each of them should go under appropriate indicator, depending on whether they deal with challenges, drivers, well-being, governance. This is something you need to reflect. As also mentioned Gus before, the cultural sensitivity, adapting the consultation process to the cultural context of the stakeholder. This is very important. We encounter some problems in that aspect, since we were dealing with different communities with different backgrounds, levels of education, etc. So I will ask you to score, just to reflect on the first indicator and think on a light here, on a traffic light system, which will be for you the rating. Let's take a look at the description of each of them. So I can give you my score. So it will be adequate for this indicator. So some specific societal challenges have been identified with some consultation with right holders and beneficiaries. I think in our project we did some consultation, but we might be missing some vulnerable groups in our stakeholder board and during the consultation process. For example, some migrant communities. I think that is a slightly weakness here. So that's why I will not propose to go for strong. I will keep it more conservative and just place it as adequate. If you want to share something here, otherwise we can jump to the next part of the training. Okay.
I would be so conservative. I think that we can place a strong value here. You have done a lot of work on all these issues. I'm not only concerned about the prioritization of these challenges, but regarding all the others, I think that we can give a value of strong here. Why not?
Yeah, I like your view, Dionysius. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but yeah, we can be nice with ourselves and also rate it as a strong. We did a good job. So we are running out of time, but I just wanna present that the same mechanism that we did for indicator 1.2, you can do it for 1.2 and 1.3. Okay, so if you want to just take a look to this presentation when it's available, I will upload it to the shared folder, to the drive. And for those external to the consortia, we will see how to make it available for you, probably on the project website or on a separate drive folder. So let's gonna see. I want to show you this video. This is from a presentation produced by NbS Climate. It's from our colleague, Claudia. She is the project lead of NatMed project, which I think Olympia is around, so, and also Hermione, so they know about this project. It's a 3-minute video. I'll copy paste the link in the chat, just in case you cannot visualize. The minute that is interesting for us is the minute 2:08. I put all this information in the chat. Just I will try to. Okay.
The study, it is placed in Greece. It's carbon on the one hand, the Macedonia region in the north of the country. Timaditida is part of a lake complex that is surrounded by 2 small hills and a large crop area. It is an area of great ecological value, which is part of the Natura 2000 network with a rich variety of plants and animals. But the excessive growth of reeds in the lakes that you can see in the image have occurred very rapidly due to the decrease in water level, and it has led to the transformation of the largest part of the lake into bare land. To address this, the NbS to deploy are the creation of riparian buffers, which will be implemented in part of the lake to cope with the pressure of agricultural activities. Also, the inclusion and management of livestock, buffaloes in this case, that are native to the area, that will control ecologically the reed population, helping to restore the soil. For that, they will be managed through rotational grazing, and it will also create job opportunities for farmers, for instance. And then, as an additional intervention, the whole irrigation network will be updated, reducing like this water consumption and favoring local farmers. And these are the results of the first assessment agency standard for the Greek case study. And they achieved the highest score for criterion 4 about economical and financial viability, although they performed very well in the rest of criteria 2. And some good practices extracted from this criterion are that they have developed a financial plan identifying benefits, costs, and beneficiaries, and it considers relevant aspects such as the carrying capacity of the lake complex regarding buffalo's grazing number, as well as marketing actions to promote buffalo-based products alongside with agrotouristic potential opportunities, which will provide an extra income for farmers. Also, comparisons have been made between the actual state and the zero solution scenario, and the proposed NbS intervention showed numerous advantages. And finally, a mapping of resourcing options has been made. It seems farmers access to public funding, reducing their operational costs and allowing them to benefit from common services. And emphasis has been made in the creation of a local agrotouristic product, which could provide visibility and at the end, an added value to the area. All of this could contribute to the long-term sustainability of the intervention. And the last case study.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I will share the presentation again. You have the full session available on YouTube. You can watch it. It's a seminar on the fundamentals of nature-based solutions applied to this NatMed project. Okay, so now we have the break, but I think we're gonna skip it. I don't think you are too tired. Yeah, please, if you need it, just let me know, or otherwise I will move ahead.
We can continue.
Sorry, Gus?
We can continue.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so who can use the standard? So IUCN envisioned that national governments, cities, local governments, planners, business, donors, financial institutions, I would say that everyone involved in social, environmental projects, and because at the end of the day, it's a tool to manage your project. So the standard can be used by stakeholders working in a range of settings, from protected areas to productive landscapes to urban areas across different regions. And it's encouraged because we need more information, we need more case of study. And something that is a misconception is that you can only use the standard for a large scale. That is not true. We apply the standard in smaller scales. Of course, smaller scale interventions are limited by other factors, sometimes budget, but it can be applied. You can apply the standard, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to fulfill all the criteria 100%. It's a guiding tool. It's a tool that helps you to improve an intervention. So I will also give you 4 minutes. This is particularly intended for the municipalities. So people working in city councils, and maybe Pete, Roberta, people from Lorca, Enrique, Pedro. You can take the lead here. You just need to reflect on those 2 questions. How can you use the standard or these criteria 1 to 4, the ones of today, in your work? And what recommendations and to which departments, units in your organization would you make, given your knowledge about the standard and the criteria that you have been introduced today? Just take your time, 4 minutes, to reflect on those, and just looking forward to hearing from you.
Hi, Sarah. This is Pete here in Sligo. Just if I could contribute in relation to this particular exercise, because I have to leave in a minute now.
Thank you.
I think the standard would be very useful when we're speaking to our colleagues in our planning section and in our economic development, because the concept of nature-based solutions, while it's spoke about quite a bit, there's a lack of kind of baseline data, or the basic descriptions and reasons for implementing nature-based standards. So the IUCN standard would be very useful, and I think this training and the material you will send on, I will discuss that with my colleagues in order to kind of improve their understanding of nature-based solutions and why they should be used and what that means, how they can be described and how they can be implemented. So yeah, I hope that answers the questions that are there. It will be very useful to us when we're informing colleagues in other sections in the municipality.
Yeah, appreciate it, because yes, we need to make this tool ongoing. The more people use it, the more information we get, the more comparable are our interventions. So thank you, Pete.
Okay, thank you. I'll leave now, but I'll certainly review.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Appreciate it. Bye. Thank you. So somebody else wants to add something about these two questions?
I'm Roberta. In my opinion, it will be interesting, the question 2 for us, because we are working also in a new general urban plan, which has a specific monitoring system. It could be useful to monitor what we will do in next years, also in terms of nature-based solution. In addition, and this point is focused on what we do, but we can use the criteria also for creating local rules for private transformation in our municipality. So it will be interesting for public work department, but also for the department who work with local stakeholder, with local economy and transformation.
Thanks, Roberta. Absolutely, involving the private sector is key on the long-term sustainability of the nature-based solutions. You raise a very important point. We will cover this in the next criteria for the next training. But keep that in mind, because I think it's one very valid point for discussion. And I hope that under the revision of the standard, which is currently ongoing, colleagues from IUCN put a lot of effort on this aspect of involving the private sector, which I think it was a slightly weakness in this version of the standard. So if somebody wants to add something else.
I want to say something, Sarah. Actually, I mean, this standard IUCN, it is mostly about biodiversity and sustainability, environment protection. No? Not directly it is related to bio-based material, because in our company we are developing bio-based polyurethane, and I try to check when you are talking, I try to check the context or criteria of this standard about bio-based material, but there is no link, I mean, directly. It mentioned about the sustainability, but not like raw material or bio-based material. So in company, I think we cannot use it.
Yes, since the nature of your company is for innovation, research and innovation. Yeah. Sometimes you face some difficulties to establish the link. But I think through the collaboration in this kind of consortium, when you see the bigger picture, when you see the implementation of the NbS, you play your part. You play the part of innovation. Absolutely related with energy efficiency of your products. So yeah, the links is there, but yeah, we are more into the innovation part of that. I will show you later something related to this, so stay tuned. So if somebody else wants to add something, please jump in. Otherwise, we can keep on going with the presentation. I will be always available by email. Yes,
Sorry, I would like to say something
yes,
about
please.
municipalities of Philly. And all the more municipalities in Greece. There's a little bit complicated. The municipality has only a few colleagues in technical department who are working only in a very, very small projects, contributor projects. So, okay, it's easy to say about these standards, but the most important thing is to know these standards, the region or the government people and colleagues, because they only from this organization begins at the end all the most important projects in all over the municipalities. So for us, we are going to make a try in these colleagues in municipality and especially to the office of mayor and the councillors of mayor who are connected with the companies who made the big projects. So to push in the thoughts these standards and improve some studies in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, Vasilis. Thank you. Yeah, there are some constraints for small cities, that's for sure. But there is always, like support online. All these organizations, as IUCN, they have plenty of documents available, free access. You also can propose that one of your technicians take the certification course. It's slightly expensive, but I think it's worth doing. You can always hire external experts that help you in the application of the standard, because it's a complex tool and mostly you need experience to apply this. But I think it's worth it to give it a try and just give it a try. As you said, test it to your local context and provide feedback. IUCN is always open to receive feedback. They have contact points where you can always send an email and say, I apply this into this context and I face these challenges. They are always so open to receive suggestions for improvement. And I will move to this part. So I was speaking about that this standard is reviewed every 4 years. And so now they are in the process of reviewing it. And you can always visit the IUCN Academy for more information on all the catalog of courses available. Regarding the self-assessment tool, this is the website where you can find information. I'll try to open it for you to take a look. So you need to register, okay? That is why it looks like this. Once you register, you can download the login user guide, and you can start the process of self-assessment of your NbS. So share it again. Okay. Okay, so don't expect a feedback from the IUCN if you fill up all the criteria and everything, because they don't provide that service. So there is no external validation. But as I said, if you send an email about the difficulties that you encounter, probably somebody will get back to you. And of course, as I said before, if you have any doubts on that, I'm always available. And if it's not me, it's somebody from the company, NbS Climate, will answer. So when you go through the self-assessment tool, you will get a level of adherence to the IUCN standard. So ideal situation will be between 50 and 70%. And if you go to this example, this was a publication from our team and CATIF for NatMed project. You have the full publication here. And this is the overview of the self-assessment applied for 5 cases of studies. I will want to raise your attention to the case study of Italy that regarding economic feasibility gets only adherence of 17%, which is pretty low. It rates as insufficient. What happened here? So as also referring to what Gus mentioned before, this case of study was purely research and innovation. Was an NbS designed based on a research institution. So the focus really was not commercial at all. But I think this information will help them to the next step. The NbS is proof effective, and they want to scale this NbS, and they want to make it more applicable to a larger scale. They might include this economic feasibility into their design. So this helps them to improve this NbS. Okay, so we are reaching the end of the training. If you have any doubts, I can stay over 10-15 more minutes. That's no problem. For the partners of the consortium, I will put all the information in this folder. So it's the self folder under training materials. I will send an email with all this information. For those outside the consortium that wants to get this material, we will try to upload it in the project website. And please, if you share the materials, please refer the sources. So IUCN, NbS Climate, NatUR-W project. That will be much appreciated. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all from my side. I hope you have enjoyed the training. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the training.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.